Hi friends, my name is Toga, and today I have for you a 20-minute flow that is specifically designed for people who are menstruating. So you don't have to be on your period to do this flow, but it's helpful if you're experiencing any cramps or you're just not feeling 100% in your body. So this flow is designed to have some gentle twists and some gentle movements. We'll mostly be staying on the mat, and this will help to add a little bit of relaxation, some reflection, and some release in your body. So if you are ready, go ahead and grab maybe 2 blocks, perhaps a blanket if you have sensitive knees and you want to put a blanket on your mat. Whatever you need, make sure you have nearby. And when you're ready, you can join me in a comfortable seated position, maybe closing down your eyes or softly gazing down the tip of your nose and just dropping into your breath here. You don't have to change anything. Just become aware of your inhales and your exhales. The cadence of your breath today. And doing a quick body scan. Maybe starting from your toes and working your way up through your legs and your torso, your arms, your back, your shoulders, your neck, your head. Seeing if you can identify any areas where there's sensation. Maybe sending your breath there. Maybe setting an intention to release some of that during this practice. And when you're ready, on an inhale, you can sweep those arms up towards the ceiling. Maybe your gaze lifts. And on your exhale, you're going to gently twist over to the right, bringing your left hand to your right knee and your right hand coming behind you. Breathing in here for a moment. And then on your next inhale, sweeping those arms back up towards the ceiling. And then on your exhale, twisting gently over to the left, doing the same thing on the opposite side, letting that right hand drop to the left knee and the left hand coming behind you, keeping a straight spine here. Breathing in, exhaling. And on your next inhale, sweeping those arms back up towards the ceiling. And exhale, push your palms away, pushing the air down, coming all the way down back to the mat. And then setting up for a bound angle here. So walking your feet forward so that the soles of your feet can press together. Your heels can be as close towards your sit bones or as far away as feels comfortable. If this is giving you a little bit more sensation than you want, you can take your blocks and just slip them underneath your knees here, letting those knees drop out to the side towards the mat or resting on the blocks. Inhaling, keeping a straight spine. Exhale, settling into this pose here. It might feel nice to flap your butterfly wings here, holding onto your feet and gently just rocking those knees up and down. Maybe stillness is what you need today. Maybe you want to fold forward a little bit over those feet, using your elbows to gently push your knees out a little further. Not coming all the way down, but just offering a little bit of a forward fold here. Seeing what kind of sensation that creates or alleviates in your body. Inhale yourself back up. And then use a hand on either side of your knees to bring them back together towards your body. And then coming into a tabletop to set up for some cat-cows. So checking in and making sure that your wrists are stacked under your shoulders and your knees are stacked under your hips. On your inhale, arching your spine, gently lifting your gaze up, coming into that cow. Exhale, curling your spine, letting your head and chin drop, coming into that cat. Feet can be tucked or untucked, whatever feels good today. And then do a few more in your own pace, inhaling your way up into cow, and exhaling down into cat, curving that spine. One more time, inhaling up into cow, arching your back, lifting your gaze. Exhaling, curving your spine, dropping your head, coming into cat. Beautiful. And then coming into a neutral spine here. Feeling that line of energy going through your back, out through the crown of your head. And you can stay right here in tabletop if you're not feeling a down dog today. I completely understand. So you can do this from tabletop if you want. If you want to come into down dog, maybe you step your hands forward, tuck your toes under, and push back into your down dog. Making sure you have a generous bend in those knees if you need it. Don't worry about getting those heels down to the mat today. Just find a place that feels good in your body. And it might not be in down dog, it might be in tabletop. So take whatever you need. And wherever you are, on your next inhale, step that right foot forward between your hands, dropping the left knee down, coming into a low lunge. Inhale, lifting your arms up towards the sky, checking in to make sure that that right knee is over the right ankle. We're not coming forward too much. Inhale here, and then on your exhale, option to bring your hands to heart center, and then hooking your right elbow over your right knee, coming into a side twist here. Breathing in. If this is too much, you can also just put your right hand on the outside of your right knee, and maybe that, or the left hand on the outside of the right knee, and the right hand comes down to your hip. This will still give you a nice twist here. So take whatever option feels good in your body. Breathing in here. Finding some space in your heart so that you can turn your chest up towards the sky. And on your next inhale, releasing that twist, placing your hands back down to the mat and stepping back into that down dog or your tabletop. So again, pick whatever feels good for you. Inhale here. Exhale. And on your next inhale, step forward with your left foot. Bringing your left foot between your palms, letting that right knee drop, shifting your hips back, inhaling your arms up into a low lunge. Checking in, making any adjustments here to make sure your knee is not tracking over the top of your foot. Breathing in, breathing out. And an opportunity to take that twist here if you want. Bringing your palms to your heart center, hooking that right elbow over the left knee this time. Maybe just taking that right hand to the outside of the left knee, left hand to the hip, taking whatever version of this twist feels good. And then seeing if you can turn your heart, turn your chest a little bit more so that we're not cranking from our back, but really twisting from our heart center. Breathing in here. And on your exhale, releasing your palms back to the mat, curling that left foot and stepping back either into that tabletop or into that down dog again. If you're in down dog, maybe you pedal out your feet. If you're in tabletop, maybe you do one more cat-cow. And then wherever you are, on your inhale, bring your knees down to the mat, cross your ankles, and then come back to a seated position. And I'll come to the center of my mat so you can see what I'm doing, but sit wherever works for you. And then we'll set up for head to knee pose. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with the right foot. So bring your right foot in towards your midline with that left leg extended. If you want to sit on a blanket here too, that can help lift your hips up a little bit more and give you some more space. So I recommend that if you feel like you need a little bit more of a propping underneath you to help bring the earth up. So when you're ready, inhale those arms up. And then exhale, turning your chest over towards that extended left leg and lowering down, hinging at your hips, stretching out as far as you can go wherever you can reach. And then when you're ready, you can sink into this a little bit more. Maybe your hand comes to your foot, maybe it comes to your shin, maybe it comes to your thigh. Maybe you want to use your blocks here to offer a little bit of support for your hands so that you don't have to bring them all the way down to the mat or the floor. Breathe here with a straight spine for a moment. And then if you want to go a little bit deeper and you want to round your spine and fold forward, I invite you to do that now. And this pose is traditionally called head to knee pose. So if you want to rest your head on your knee, you can do that. If that's too much, this is also where a block can be helpful. If you want to maybe place that block on top of your thigh and rest here. If you don't want to come all the way down, that's fine too. You can place your forearms on the mat, hands on the mat. Just feel out your body. Wherever your body wants to be today is the exact right place. So by no means necessary do you have to come all the way down. And wherever you are, begin to inhale your way back up. Paying attention to any sensation in your body and where you're feeling it. And then coming up and setting up for the other side. So extending that right leg now, bringing that left foot in towards the right thigh. Inhaling your arms up and then twisting gently so that your torso is hovering over that right leg. Exhale, begin to hinge forward at your hips, keeping that straight spine, stretching out with your hands. And then releasing down, hands coming to your foot, to your shin, to your thigh, maybe to blocks, maybe to the mat. Breathing in here for a moment with that straight spine, hinging as far as you can go. And then if you want, sinking a little deeper here, rounding your back. Maybe your forehead drops towards that knee, or maybe you stay a little bit more uplifted. Just figuring out what your body is calling for, what sensations might be happening internally that you need to send your breath towards. And also recognizing that your two sides might be different and you might need to take different options on your different sides. Inhale, straightening back up and extending both of your feet forward, coming into a straight neutral spine here. And then when you're ready, bending your knees and rolling down to the mat. It might feel nice to take your knees towards your chest here. Don't bring them all the way to your chest. We're not trying to stress your back out. Just bring them halfway and maybe do a little rocker on your sacrum. Wonderful. Then you can place your feet back on the mat with your knees up towards the ceiling, and we'll come into a supported bridge here. So if you have that block handy, go ahead and grab that. You can also use a bolster here. Maybe you stack a few blankets. but we're essentially just going to be coming into a supported bridge. So we'll be sliding our prop underneath our sacrum to offer a little bit more of support here. So with your knees pointed up towards the ceiling, maybe shift your shoulders a little bit so they're underneath your body. Palms are down on the ground by your side, fingertips almost brushing against the back of your heels or brushing your heels. On an inhale, pressing your feet into the mat, lifting your hips up enough that you can take that prop, whatever you're using, and slide it underneath your sacrum, and then melting onto that prop. Make sure you have that prop in the correct position, so we don't want it on our sit bones, we don't want it on our butt, we don't want it on our lumbar spine, we want it on that flat disc of bone called the sacrum that's right in between our lower back and our sit bones. So shift around and find that spot. And when you're ready and comfortable, let your body just melt into this pose, knowing that this prop is supporting you, the earth is supporting you. Send your breath to any areas that feel sticky or where you're having some more intense sensations. And see if there's anywhere where you can release. See if you can melt yourself down just a little bit more here. Beautiful. And on your next inhale, you're going to press your feet into the mat, lifting those hips up again, and then sliding that prop out from underneath you so that you can slowly lower down back to the mat. And when your entire back has reached the mat, you can gently bring those knees in towards your chest again. Maybe you rock a little from side to side, releasing that lower back. And then making sure any props are close by but a little bit out of the way. We'll come into a supine twist here. So with your knees together, coming into sort of a tabletop legs, you can extend those arms out into a T or into a cactus shape if you don't have a ton of room. And then we're going to drop those knees gently over to the right side of the mat, coming into a twist here. If your knees don't make it all the way down, this is again where a prop can be helpful. So you can take that block and put it on whatever height setting works for you and let your knees drop over and rest on that block. Let's play around here, find a position that feels comfortable for you. Maybe you take that right hand and drape it on top of your leg shape here to offer a little bit more weight. Maybe you let your gaze drift over your left fingertips. Breathing into this twist here. Really seeing if this kind of pose, this wringing out, this twisting sensation, if that's alleviating any other, maybe more intense sensations you might be feeling internally. Finding your breath here. And then on your next inhale, drawing those knees back up to center, coming back into that neutral position, and then setting up to do the same thing on the opposite side. So taking those knees into that tabletop position, arms can be extended out to the side, and then dropping both knees over towards the left, coming into a supine twist on the left, using a block here to support your knees. If you don't want to bring them all the way down to the mat, maybe you take that left hand on the outside of your stacked knees here to offer a little bit more weight. Maybe your gaze drifts over towards the right side. Finding your breath here. Inhaling, exhaling. See if you can release anywhere else. See if you can find any tension that's still living in your body and adjust in any way that alleviates that at least a little bit more. Reminding yourself that it's okay to be gentle with yourself, that not everything has to be intense and fiery and fast all the time, and that it's sometimes incredibly important to take this time to really unwind yourself and to offer a different kind of support. On your next inhale, lifting those legs back up to tabletop, coming into a neutral spine here. Maybe you want to hug your knees to your chest one more time, doing a gentle rock, taking any final movement here that feels nice before setting up for your Shavasana. You can take Shavasana in any way that works for you. If you want to do it seated, if you even want to do it standing, do whatever you like. But if you'd like to come into a more traditional Shavasana, you can extend your legs, extend your arms, shift your shoulder blades so that they're slightly underneath your body. Maybe you close down your eyes if that feels comfortable, or softly gaze down the tip of your nose. And releasing everything, relaxing here, using this time to integrate your body and your mind. And if you can stay a little bit longer in Shavasana for another 5 or 10 minutes, I encourage you to do that. But if you are ready to move on, you can wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe you stretch over your head as if it's your first good morning stretch of the day, and then gently roll over to whichever side of the mat brings you the most comfort today, pushing a palm into the mat to raise yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Offering yourself a note of gratitude for taking this time to come to your mat today and to offer this time to really connect with your body and your mind and offer your body maybe some release and relief for anything it might be going through. On your next inhale, sweeping your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bringing your palms to your chest, bowing forward over your heart center. Reminding yourself that anything you want or need is right here within you. You just have to ask for it. I'm Toga. Be well.